and we're back with another episode of Unexplained. This week, we are discussing the DEA agents who vanished without a trace. With the sun baking the sands of the Southwest and the Pacific S-waves humming lullabies to the Golden State elites, DEA agents prepare for a midnight cross-border operation on the fringes of the Sierra Madre mountain range near the U.S. Mexico border. If you enjoy unsolved mysteries, then make sure to subscribe for more content. May 2016. The American continent sleeps comfortably. Special Agent Monica Reyes is a former Navy SEAL. Her partner, Tactical Specialist Evelyn Hunt, comes from the DEA's Elite Special Operations Division. After a long approach march through punishing terrain, they set up a silent watch just outside the suspected Route S entrance. On a razor-sharp ridge overlooking a lonely canyon, Reyes and Hunt should have been in position, but their feed remained dark. There was no sound, just static, then silence. At 11:43 p.m., every signal from Reyes and Hunt's equipment ceased abruptly. No distress call, no triggered panic alert, only static and a growing sense of foreboding. Their mission: quietly monitor the route, staying out of sight, blending into the vast emptiness of the desert until their shift ended. The relay team tried to raise Reyes and Hunt. Their calls met with ominous silence. The case grew colder with each passing hour, becoming an internal legend within the DEA whispered about in training rooms and late-night debriefings. As the miners descended into the earth, Mac felt a surge of excitement mixed with dread. What would they find? Would it bring them closer to solving the mystery or unearth answers too terrible to comprehend? The Reyes-Hunt vanish. The official investigation yielded no answers. Behind it, a surprise awaited. A small, unlabeled duffel bag lay nestled inside. Hope surged through Mac as he recognized the bag's insignia, a D issue. Why were these items here? And why was the bag sealed so meticulously? What did it mean for the investigation and for their hopes of finding Reyes and Hunt? One team of experts suggested they might be pre-Columbian cave glyphs, possibly left behind by indigenous tribes who once inhabited the area. Warnings of what lay deeper in the earth, hidden from the world. The other half lay dormant in the dusty pages of the untouched journal. The team hoped that the journal would shed light on what had happened to the agents, what they had discovered and what ultimately led to their disappearance. Another theory posited that they were a form of communication left by whoever had taken the agents. A twisted game of cat and mouse. Could this be it? The answer to the 8-year-old mystery? But the journal offered more questions than answers. The last entry made on May detailed the agents' movements and observations, but ended abruptly, as if cut short. The stale, cool air of the cave pressing in on them as they moved deeper into its heart. The further they went, the sheer number of prints hinted at a multitude of visitors over an extended period, leaving behind a tangible legacy of their presence. Had the agents ventured this far? Was this the place they had vanished into? Or did the cave hold secrets even deeper, laden with anticipation and the weight of the unanswered questions? This newfound area was officially sealed off, declared geologically unstable to the public. They chased shadows, following every hunch, every rumor, every lead, no matter how tenuous. Echoing through the halls of the D. Did the cave hide more secrets? Was there a connection between the handprints and the missing agents? The truth, like a phantom, remained just beyond their grasp, mocking their efforts with its elusiveness. Their story lives on, not just in the annals of the D, but in the hearts of all who knew them. Their courage, their determination, their sacrifice, all serve as a testament to the unwavering spirit of those who stand on the front lines of the battle for justice. The handprint cave stands as a silent sentinel, holding its secrets close, offering no solace to the families seeking closure, or something more sinister lurking in the shadows behind the agents. Officially, the case was a cold one. The pressure to solve it had eased. Was the cave hiding more than they had realized? Were the agents chasing something elusive, a ghost, a myth? The final line, "We went down chasing ghosts, but something here, it's been waiting much longer," was both cryptic and chilling. Were the symbols a message, a warning, or a clue left behind intentionally? The lead investigator, Special Agent William McMacArthur, knew the odds of finding his friends alive were close to zero. Inside, meticulously organized, were items from Reyes and Hunt's last known equipment loadout. A worn field journal with Reyes initials carved into the cover, Eva Hunt's badge, 2 unused flares, and a Polaroid camera. Could this be the final resting place of Reyes and Hunt? The question hung heavy in the air as the team prepared to enter the uncharted territory. The image showed Monica and Eva standing in the cave, their faces smeared with dirt, their eyes wide, staring into the darkness. As they descended into the darkness, the reality of the situation pressed down on them. What if the worst had happened? What if they were about to uncover a grim reality they could never have imagined? But it was what was behind them that truly disturbed the team. Etched into the cave wall were strange symbols. By 3 a.m., the cavalry was sent in. Elite trackers from multiple federal and local units scoured the area, but found nothing. Mac kept the pressure on, pushing the case files until they ached in his hands. Desperate for a break, a single lead that could bring him closer to the truth. The discovery of the photograph with its cryptic symbols and the untouched journal deepened the mystery surrounding the DEA agent's disappearance. The cave opening was so remote, so well concealed, there was no sign of forced entry. He pored over every report, every interview, transcript, searching for a clue, a detail too small to be ignored, a name, a date, anything that could lead him to his friends. No indication of a struggle, nothing but the wind whispering tales of solitude through the empty rocks. Together, they form an unstoppable force of federal law enforcement. Precision instruments of justice honed to perfection in years of training and combat experience, strange airflow patterns, and a faint metallic smell that grew stronger the deeper they went. A shadowy transit route through treacherous canyons and up lonely ridges where signal and sightlines were lost forever. Suspected targets acquired, Reyes reported crisply, her voice a low whisper in the earpiece. ETA, 10 minutes. Hunt followed with her own transmission. Visual confirmation, 2 males, both armed. The only verifiable evidence of its use. A few discarded water bottles. An occasional flare and echoes of rumors from small border towns. Their target, narco-trafficking cells utilizing a route so remote, so off the grid, it was almost mythical in its inaccessibility. All transmissions from their equipment were routed through a mobile relay team stationed on the U.S. side of the border. At 10:50 p.m., their feed flickered with movement. A pair of figures descending into the canyon floor, their silhouettes stark against the rising moon. The relay team watched as the targets moved like wraiths between the rocks, disappearing from view after 10 minutes. The only clue, a single tactical knife resting in the soil at the cave mouth, handle down. Days turned into weeks, then months. The case gnawed at him, eating away at his nights with visions of Reyes and Hunt, their faces pale in the moonlight, their voices echoing in the desert winds. Then in July of 2024, nearly 9 years after the disappearance, a glimmer of hope emerged. With renewed vigor, Mac led a team back to the cave system where Reyes and Hunt had vanished. On the third day of exploration, deep in the cavern's 4th level, they discovered a hollow space sealed behind a curtain of limestone. Later, when the lab processed the lone photograph captured by the Polaroid camera, it provided more questions than answers. These markings were not gang signs, cartel tags, or any known local markings. But the most unsettling possibility, whispered only in hushed tones, was that they were nothing short of cryptic warnings. Agent MacArthur pored over every word, desperate for a clue, a sign, anything that could lead him closer to the truth. Was it a cryptic message left by the agents themselves? Or had something else written it? With the discovery of the cave deeper than previously explored, there was now a new urgency to the investigation. There was no guarantee they would find what they were looking for, but the hope of closure was too strong to ignore. The descent into the unknown was both physically and emotionally draining. When the cave divers finally breached the sealed tunnel, what they found was nothing short of astonishing. Beyond the submerged barrier lay an oxygen pocket. Etched into the walls were hundreds of handprints, tiny and large, scraped into the surface with a disturbing intensity. The existence of the subterranean complex and its eerie handprints were classified, and yet the question lingered. What was the significance of the symbols? Years passed and the case grew colder. The handprint cave remained sealed away from prying eyes. But the whispers persisted. The discovery of the Polaroid camera with its haunting image only fueled the speculation. In the far corner of the photograph, barely discernible, they combed through every lead, every witness statement, every scrap of intelligence, hoping to find a piece of the puzzle that could lead them to Reyes and Hunt. Today, the case of the missing DEA agents remains unsolved, a chilling enigma that continues to haunt the corridors of the DEA. The case of Monica Reyes and Eva Hunt serves as a haunting reminder of the thin line between order and chaos, a stark reminder of the sacrifices demanded by the pursuit of justice.